Hey folks, welcome back to GameFuel. On today's video, we wanted to go over 5 sequels that we would really like to see announced at this year's E3. We know that some of these games are in development but do not have a release window, and some of them, well, they might just be dreams. Without further ado, let's kick the list off with number 5. I'm sure that most of you have played a skateboarding game at one time or another in your life. From the seemingly endless Tony Hawk games, which unfortunately had to be ended by the 5th entry, which is definitely the worst in the series, to the refreshing Skate series. Some of my fondest memories in a skating game are with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and of course, the notorious Skate 3. I don't know what it was with the Skate series, the innovative controls and large open world truly made the game feel like one massive playground. The ability to get off your skateboard and walk around to set up the perfect line gave the player the feeling of true freedom. We would absolutely love to see Skate 4 announced at this year's E3. It has been 8 years since Skate 3 came out, and the world is definitely ready for an updated entry in the series. There were many rumors back in 2016 of Skate 4, but unfortunately none of them came true. After doing a bit of research, it is very clear that fans are eager for EA to release a Skate entry for the current generation of consoles. Just imagine what EA could do with their Frostbite engine, which powers both Star Wars Battlefront and the Battlefield series. Who would develop the game though, since Black Box Studios, the developers of the previous Skate game, have been shut down by EA? What would you guys like to see in a 4th entry in the Skate series? And at number 4 is the next game in the long-running, console-selling Halo series. We know that Halo 6 is in development by 343 Industries, but it would be very exciting if the sequel is announced at this year's E3. Halo 5 Guardians came out nearly 3 years ago, which puts us right in line for another Halo game, since they seem to come out every 3 years or so. Halo 5 was the first Halo on current gen consoles, and although it introduced many new and exciting features into the series, it got rid of the feature that made Halo so special for so many people: local split-screen multiplayer. I can remember so many long nights spent playing System Link Halo 3 with 8 of my friends on 2 TVs. Those nights are some of my fondest memories in gaming. Halo 5 introduced 60 frames per second gameplay and a nice bump in graphics, but I think that we can all agree that by removing split-screen multiplayer, it hurt the game overall. It would be a huge mistake if Halo 6 did not bring back the extremely popular mode. It would be amazing if they could keep the 60 frames per second and add split screen back into the game. One of the most exciting things we are looking forward to in Halo 6 is that it will be the first Halo in a very long time launching on PC. As much as we aren't fans of the Windows 10 store, we're willing to suffer through it to play Halo on PC. Are you guys planning on playing Halo 6 on PC? And will you even bother playing it if it does not include split screen play? Taking the 3rd place on our list is another Xbox exclusive that, if it does happen, will of course be coming to PC also. Fable 4 almost seemed like an impossible dream. The developers behind Fable 1 through 3, Lionhead Studios, were closed down by Microsoft in 2016. Although it looked grim for Fable 4, we still hoped, and it looks like our wishes may be coming true. Earlier this year there was quite a bit of information unveiled, which leads us to believe that Fable 4 is coming. And the UK-based developers Playground Games, the studio behind the Forza Horizon series, are developing it. We don't know when, but an announcement at this year's E3 would be incredible. It's been 8 years since Fable 3, and with all new hardware and the power of the PC, the open-world RPG series could make a huge comeback. Not many other RPGs have the same charm as Fable. It's a combination of the characters, graphics, and the adorable dog. One thing that could definitely use some work though is the co-op system. Fable 4 needs to have better drop-in and drop-out support for co-op. It's something that sets the series apart from most other single-player RPGs. What features are you guys most excited for in Fable 4? At number 2 is probably my personal most hyped for game that absolutely needs to be announced at this year's E3. Ever since I finished Borderlands the pre-sequel, I have been craving more Borderlands, but bigger, badder, and with more guns. One thing is for sure, and that is the next Borderlands game is in development. Gearbox Software has confirmed that they are hard at work on the game. Here's to hoping that this is the year that they will actually release it. For those of you who haven't played any of the Borderlands games, they are essentially loot shooters, which combines the addicting gameplay loop of constantly getting better weapons with, well, first-person shooters. The Borderlands games have a weapon system like no other. Each weapon is randomly generated from a pool of weapon parts, modifiers, and elements, essentially creating thousands of different guns. All this combined with the unique cel-shaded art style, crazy enemy design, and a one-of-a-kind world makes these games timeless. There's a reason why people have put thousands of hours into these games. There's always one more thing to do, one more weapon to grind for. There isn't much in terms of improvements that we really want out of Borderlands 3, just more of it with shinier graphics. It would be nice to see even more loot options such as helmets and armor, but even if we don't get that, we'll just be happy for more Borderlands. Is there anything you guys would like to see changed or added to the next Borderlands title? Finally, the number one spot is probably the least likely to happen, but we put it here anyways because we can dream, can't we? Elder Scrolls 6 is the inevitable sequel to Bethesda's epic role-playing series. It's been 7 years since the release of Skyrim, and it seems that game has been released a dozen different times by now. Just next month, it's being released again on Steam for VR. We've all played it to death, and we're ready for the next one. We just did an entire video on what we want to see in the next Elder Scrolls game. You should definitely check it out. It will be linked down in the description. Let's just be honest, we'd all be happy for anything to do with Elder Scrolls. One thing that we really hope is that Bethesda doesn't get lazy. We want a new engine with features never before seen in an Elder Scrolls game. Make sure you let us know everything that you want to see in the next Elder Scrolls game. What province do you think it will be in? Those were our top 5 sequels that we want to see announced at E3 this year. I want to thank every single one of you for checking out this video and for watching it to the end. We know there is so much content on YouTube, and it means a lot that you would watch ours. As always, this is Simple Logics, signing out.